Hello anyone watching, I'm just going to be going through the Final Fantasy cards, seeing whether I'm excited for any of them for Standard or for Commander. Those are the formats I play the most. I haven't played Pioneer in a while, don't ask me about that one. Modern, no idea. Let's get into it. So, Lightning, Army of 1, 3 mana, 3/2, pretty weak so far. Nice keywords. When it deals combat damage to the next turn, if a source will deal combat damage to that player, I mean that's pretty cool because it's until the next turn, so you can lightning strike someone or use a burn spell afterwards, or because of the first strike, any creatures dealing normal combat damage will deal double damage, which is great. Probably really good for Commander, but for Standard, like this just dies to burst lightning, nowhere to run, most blockers. I like it though. I want to make it work, but she doesn't have haste. 3 mana, probably just dies. Kefka. I really like him. I want to play Grixis. It's just at the moment I'm on Esper Pixie myself. I wouldn't mind trying to make Grixis work. He seems like he'd be really fun to play with, like self-bounce things, like this town, and he's just card advantage on a creature. I mean, I could just play Grixis Control, that would work as well. When he flips, he floops into this guy, and that's sick. I mean, Lightning Strike is 3 damage and burn. Bolt Wave, draw 3 cards for 1 red. It's a bit prohibitive. Prohibitive. Am I saying that right? 8 mana, trying to flip it. I like him. I'd try to make him work. I wouldn't be able to though. Commander, absolutely sick though. Yeah, absolutely sick in Commander. Probably would run him as a Commander. I don't think I've got my only Grixis Commander is Inala. I haven't played him in years, so I'll be looking to get the land base and all that moved over to make Kafka, who actually looks fun. Emmett Selk looks sick. Like very unassuming, like 3 mana, 2 power. Enter attacks, draw a card, discard a card. That's pretty decent. Vigilance on a 2/4 butt. That's good. Doesn't die to nowhere to run. Doesn't die to torch the tower in Standard. Pretty good. I quite like the stat line on this one. It's like about the stat line of a Preacher of the Schism, but with different effects. But the fact that he can flip into a 6/6 in your upkeep, that basically has Yawgmoth's Will on him. Yeah, pretty good. And a 6/6 Vigilance as well. Great for Commander, I think. I reckon it'd be really good in Commander. I reckon it's probably going to be quite good, maybe as a 1 or 2 off in Standard. Would probably win a game, but I wouldn't win more than one really. Terra, I love Terra. She looks really cool. I would run her. I'd like to run her as a Commander. Yeah, as a probably the 5-colour Saga Commander. She's just more fun than Tom Bombadil. Bombadil's just kind of like passive. Like you put down your Sagas and then you just like, yeah, you get the value. He's indestructible. Blah blah blah. Like Terra enters, gets a card back. Stat line's probably not great for Standard. Dies to everything, but in Commander, yeah, really good. Being able to make copies of enchantments, especially sagas, like being able to just finish off a saga in 1 turn is pretty cool, and she gets 3 goes of it. And if I'm reading this right, she can copy the copy that you make. So you can make a saga, make another saga. If you wanted to do this with Bahamut, we'll get to him later. But no, that's legendary. Ignore me. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. There we go. Not sure about standard, but looks really cool. I like it. And adding 10 mana to your pool on a 6/6. Yeah, I can dig. Sin. I think Sin probably wouldn't be great as a commander. I think he'd be great in the 99 now. Just too expensive as a commander. Like, with it being random, it could be really good, but it's more than likely just going to be disappointing. So, but in the 99, I could see that being pretty fun. Yeah. Well, standard wise, yeah, nah, too expensive. Just dies to most of the removal. Not really a good reanimator target. Like, I mean, when you got Valgavoth and a Traxxas in, when the Traxxas rotates out, maybe, because then he would make a copy of the Valgavoth potentially. Potentially, yeah. In the reanimated shell. Cloud. Let's have a look. Cloud. Choose one enchantment, and so I think he's going to be great in commander. I can't think of standard. You could maybe Boros Shell with Cory Steel Cutter. You just put a Steel Cutter into your hand, and I mean it doesn't auto equip onto him, which is a bit annoying. I can't think of any other equipment in standard. Maybe Lava Spare Boots to give him ward. Because we'll double the ward triggers, but that's not great with nowhere to run. I think white makes him just a bit too prohibitive. I cannot say the word prohibitive in standard. Just dies to nowhere to run. Can't give him hexproof, just dies to nowhere to run. I can't think of any good good equipment at the moment. Ether Spark could work. Yeah, it could be fun. I don't think it'd be great in standard. Fun commander, probably really fun commander. Go. Not really had too much of a look into him. XX copy target artifact. We've got words. Activated or triggered ability control X times. He's going to be so broken in commander. Just like things that say like, oh, take an extra turn or untap. Can't think of off the top of my head because I'm just doing this off the cuff completely, but it's very open to very strong things. Not sure about standard. He has got a big butt and easy to cast. I think there's the potential he could be really strong in standard, given the right thing. But in commander, definitely going to be bonkers. Where have we gone? We've gone all the way down here. Sephiroth. I think Sephiroth looks really cool. I think you can play with standard. I think there's probably an aristocrats. Oh, words gone. It's too late. Shell in standard with like Vengeful Blood Witch, the Zahar. I think the guy that lets you sacrifice creatures to surveil, but also make zombies when they die. I think there's Bartholomew for an extra sack outlet. Yeah, I think there's some good stuff out there. and when he floops, he will floop into the One-Winged Angel, and you get a Blood Artist emblem, which is cool, and you get like a sack outlet, draw on attack. I don't think you'll ever really flip him. Like, you have to kill 4 creatures with him still being alive. I doubt it'll happen. Clive. When he enters, you may discard your hand and then draw cards equal to your devotion to red. Don't see it happening standard. 6 mana. Like, how likely are you to have devotion to red on the field? Like, what are there any red cards that really stick around? Like in shells that will let you get to 6 mana. Like, I can like Corey Steelcutter or maybe the Extruder. I don't know. But I can't think of anything that you'd really want to. Maybe a mono red pile, but with like Razorhead Needlekin and just passively dealing things, but I don't think it's good enough. However, commander, I think you'd be great as a commander. You're more likely to have like the like just a devotion lying around. People are less likely to just kill your stuff constantly. And for 6 mana, he's pretty cool. Turns to a 9/9, and probably removes a creature, and then you get mana advantage to cast the spells that you drew. I think it's a bit. I can see it. Like, I can see a mono red control deck working ish, but I don't think it's going to be particularly fun to play. Not really. Standard wise, I don't see it. Ancient Adamantoise. I love how these turtles always have some jank mechanics, and turtles are my favourite. Damage isn't removed from its creature during cleanup. Any damage that would be dealt to you or other permanents you control is dealt to it, and it has your life total. So you'd be basically doubling life total. I think this would be absolutely hilarious as a reanimation target. Like, say, like a red player thinks they've got you on the ropes, and you just reanimate an Adamantoise. They have to get through another 20. I mean, they'd probably bounce it, but it's got Ward 3, got Vigilance, and it does create 10 tap treasure tokens when it dies. Standard wise, I want it to work. I don't know if it would. I want it to work though. Commander wise, absolutely fine. 8 mana to stop 20 damage going amongst to your things. I mean, this like someone goes Blasphemous Act, for example, you keep your board and then create 10 tap treasure tokens. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But for 60 card, maybe if I pull one, I'd see if I can use it just for the meme value. Knights of Round, one of my favourite Final Fantasy 7 things. 8 mana. 8 mana 3/3. It's indestructible. But you know what else is in the standard? Nowhere to Run. -3/3. Just dies. Like, it's 8 mana, create 3 2/2s, and they get a Nowhere to Run. And they have to use Nowhere to Run. I mean, there's also Exercise in the format. There's probably still Leyline Binding. You know, like there's exile creature removal there. You can just make you sack it. I think it's a really cool idea. I just think there's a bit too much hate for it in the format right now. would be fun in a like the Abuelo's Omniscience deck, where they reanimate Omniscience. If you didn't, if you, I don't know, if you wanted to split up your top end in say game 2 or 3, maybe. Why would you? I don't think you would. But like, if you wanted to avoid like a Stone Vein effect from just completely knackering you, then you can Umbrellas a Knights of Round instead. But there's another saga that I prefer to do that to. If you're against any decks that can't deal with indestructible creatures, and you're not already dead by the time you get to 8 mana, it will win you the game, but it's not as good as History of Benalia, which was 3 mana, and like, wasn't as easy to remove. Anyway, well, it has some synergy with Flicker, like Scroll Shift, due to being a creature, well, getting you just overwhelming the board, but I still think it's a bit mid. I think it's cool though. Ishtola, right? One of my favourite kitties in Final Fantasy. At the beginning of the end step, you flicker a creature twice. Well, you get 2 end steps. So I'm just going to say it. Commander-wise, she's going to be absolutely bonkers. Thankfully, they've put it on only in mono blue, so there's not kind of as much broken stuff as that she can do. However, like you still have things like Thassa, Conjurer's Closet, all those extra flicker and end step things. You're going to get a ton of value out of her. Just basic things like even really basic things like Omen Seeker as an example, just a 2 mana scry 2, rubbish card, or Algor Bolus. Getting that 3 times, I think it's pretty good, and that's only on bad creatures. Like even like Sad Robert, Solemn Simulacrum. That would get you a ton of lands. You'd be so far ahead in mono blue. Standard wise, 3/5 for 6. What are you going to flicker? What are you going to flicker? Like in mono blue. I just don't think she's got a niche in standard. Bob is back. I'm really excited about this. Most people I see are a bit kind of mid on Bob. I think he's going to be strong in standard. I think I like 2/1. Sure, it dies to most things, but then it's a removal spell used on, and if he survives, you get value. Hopefully, you're not going to run Annex in that and lose a life. Hopefully, you would build your deck around not taking 8 when you draw a card from Bob. Yeah, I think he's got. He's probably going to do well in the format. Eventually, Pixie probably just kills him with Momentum Breaker or Nowhere to Run. He also doesn't block very well. He doesn't attack very well. So maybe in the slower, grindier matchups where you're likely to gain life, maybe if you can also like have Shouldered and just discard people out, I can see it working. But maybe not so much against the aggro. Like against Izzy, he just dies to everything. Okay, I take it back. He's probably not going to be that great, but I'm going to pull as many as I can for Commander because I do not own a Bob. He's always just been prohibitively, I can't say that word. He's always been a bit too expensive for me to justify buying one just to play Commander. But now it's in Standard. Maybe I can shell it out for him. See how it goes. Nibelheim of Flame. 4 mana, choose target creature control, deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, discard your hand and draw 4. Okay. I don't like it. It's Chandra's Ignition, but cheaper, and with flashback. The only issue is, it's a Wrath that is highly focused around having a creature on board. So, if you don't have a board, you can't clear the enemy board at all. And like being able to wheel for 7 mana, but it's great. I mean, maybe in Commander, but I just see it being the case that they just kill the creature, and your Wrath is useless. So yeah, this is going to be the mythic that I pull 4 of, I can tell. It's just the mythic that I'm the least excited about. Like, I pulled from Dominaria United 4 Soul Canada Tainted. Literally the worst mythic ever. Why couldn't they be Shoulders? Oh, I've been so happy in life. Travelling Chocobo. 3 mana, 3/2 bird. Stat line's not great. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. I like it. Play lands and cast bird spells from the top of your library. I like it. Like, for Commander, it's really good. For Standard, maybe if they've used the removal on other birds up until now, because there are other chocobos are lower on the curve. And it does Panharmonicon for lands and birds. This could be absolutely broken. I'm not sure what other landfall there is, apart from like Mossborn Hydra, and no, it's not Mossborn, but Mossroot or whatever it is, the one that doubles counters for landfall, and Tifa. Yeah, so it would be pretty good on like a Tifa one-shot deck, or like the Hydras, but by itself, I'd have to. It's kind of tough to evaluate where birds are going to be right now. Well, it doesn't line it up by cycles, but I'll just go through it. Wind Crystal, 4 mana, 2 white pips. If you gain life, you gain twice that much life. Oh, right. Do you remember when Boon Reflection, right, was a 6 mana enchantment that only had this effect on it, right? And now it's a 4 mana white spells. It also attacks on white spells, costs 1 less to cast, and 6 mana to give creatures you control flying and lifelink until end of turn. Overall life gain is just bad, generally. I think there's room for this one potentially in a life gain mill deck in Standard. There is a creature card that for some reason hasn't come up in this one yet, where at the beginning of your end step you mill each opponent equal to the amount of life you gain this turn, and obviously if you gain twice that much life, it's twice as good. So I think there's room for that, because you can do things like using Union of the Third Path to gain like tons of life. There's a lot of decent life gain cards. It is a do nothing. It's probably just me being silly and wanting to play it, but I want it to work so bad. I don't think it will though. In terms of Commander, yeah, it's huge. Like, play this. Like, being able to have a finisher that's just on board, that's just great. Just a way of dumping your mana on turns. Not that you would normally have it in white, but also just gaining life. Huge. Yeah, very good for Commander. Standard, could be. Don't think so. Lunar Whale. 4 mana, 3/5, legendary vehicle, flying, look at the top card of your library anytime. Tough to evaluate this one. I think 3/5 is a great stat line to have, and it's a flyer. It could be good in like control decks just to kind of see, like, plan their turns, and like it's easy to kind of turn it into an attacker later with things like Fountain Port or other things there. However, like, you have to have a creature on board. Maybe there's a vehicles deck that I'm just overlooking completely, and then that would be really sick. I don't know. Like, I don't know on this one. For Commander, it's pretty mid. Like, yeah. I mean, it's just Future Sight but on a vehicle, and I barely run Future Sight in my decks. Yeah, don't know on that one. I think it's a bit mid. I wouldn't be excited to pull it. I'd try and make it work somewhere. Ninja's Blades. I like this one. 3 mana for Job Select, which is when it enters, you get a 1/1 hero, and then you can attach it to this equipment to that 1/1. It gets +1/+1. It's a ninja, and has, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and discard, and then that player loses life equal to its mana value. Now, what I was saying earlier about Bob with annexes, this deck would be absolutely hilarious if you just got annexes being stuck in your hand and you just dome someone for 8 as well as hitting them for the combat damage. I think there's definitely room for this one to be really good in standard. Commander, it's going to be good because you're generally going to have higher cost things, but it also really synergizes with other really good commander cards, things like Cease and Desist, or Flotsam Jetsam, or Annex, which are going to have huge mana values, but don't cost that much to play. And also makes things into ninjas, which makes Yorico much easier to use. I think this is going to be pretty good. Being 3 mana is a bit tough. 2 equip isn't too bad. I mean, going back to earlier, like if you can curve Cloud into ninjas, like Cloud finds Ninja Blades, cast Ninja Blades, get the ninja. So, and then later on you can try and equip it to Cloud. Could work. I don't know. There's that that rare from Thunder Junction, isn't there? The one that like lets you bring an equipment back from the bin and a creature back from the bin, and then I think you can attach them. That would be fun in a Cloud Ninja deck. But these are I'm just trying to make bad cards work. I think this is going to be pretty fun though. Varn, Street Thief. Okay, it turns every Scout, Pirate and a Rogue into Ragavan on a 3 mana 2/2. And he grows your board if whenever you cast them. I think this has the potential to be absolutely bonkers commander. It turns bad Scouts, Pirates and Rogues into absolutely bonkers cards. Like, yeah, it just makes them huge really fast. Standard wise, I think he dies too easily. He would be quite a good win more card, like, but what would he curve be? Like 1 mana Marauding Mako, 2 mana another Pirate, 3 mana Varn. He dies before your Pirates deal combat damage. You cry. You don't get the trigger. Commander's gonna be good though. other than that, yeah, that's it. Summon Titan. 5 mana for a 7/7 reach trample. Enters, mills 5 cards. Return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then he pumps a creature bigly. All in all, I think the effects are okay. I think it's okay, yeah. Because you get 1 turn to attack with him, unless you can give him haste. So yeah, you get a 7/7, but he also blocks on a turn with reach. That's kind of okay. He's a bit weak. He's a bit weak for standard. Yeah, I don't really see him being particularly like amazing. In terms of commander, he'll be strong for self-mill decks. I think the main issue is just his 5 mana, and all he does is mill 5 cards on entry. If you get to turn 5, like if you get to 5 mana, you want to have something impactful. You don't want to do more setting up for 5 mana. Although, I mean, he does ramp you if you've already milled, but just by himself, he's just fine. I mean, you can reanimate him in things like Merrin. Okay, well, by himself he's rubbish. In things like Merrin, who can just reanimate him over and over and then give you a big swing. So, yeah, I think for graveyard style decks, absolutely bonkers. Most decks, he's going to be a bit pants. Enchantress decks, I don't really see it. Apart from maybe like Yenna, where you can copy him. But other than that, okay. From father to son, search your library for a vehicle, reveal it, put it to your hand, or you can put it onto the battlefield instead. I'm not sure what vehicle you're going to search for in standard. I could be wrong, but I don't think there are any vehicles that make you want to take turn 2 off to search and put it onto the battlefield. Put it into your hand. Maybe like put it onto the battlefield even for 7. Are there any like impactful vehicles? I mean, I know there's Valor's Longship, which like has lifelink and all that, but you're unlikely to be able to crew it, and just by itself it's a bit meh. Maybe in Pioneer for like Greasewang, you get to shoot it up instead of having to shove it into the graveyard, but then you still need to discard it, and then you're behind on board. And you're never going to hit the flashback, really. You shouldn't hit the flashback. In Commander, yeah. Once again, I think the main issue is what vehicles are you going to find. Like, I think the flashback maybe, so you can like find say Parhelion. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think there's any vehicles that make me go, yes, I want to pay 7 mana to tutor my library and put a vehicle on the battlefield. No. Low tier for me. Edgar, King of Figaro. Right. I've been talking about this today. I have a Yusri deck. This guy. Yusri. Fortune's Flame. Yes, I've got a land pack just for Modern Horizons. And so what I would love to be able to swing in with Yusri and just instantly get Omniscience. So yeah, I think absolutely amazing in that deck. I think in other decks like Croc, and this is Commander, it'd be really good. yeah, and like Zinda split and the other one that they put the other partner. Um, yeah, it would be pretty good in those as a supporting thing. As a main commander, is there that much kind of mono blue coin flip stuff? I don't think there is there? But uh, drawing a card for each artifact you control when he enters is a bit bananas. It's so easy to have a decent board of artifacts. Like, he'd be a very good creature to have in an Urza deck. But he can run his own deck with just mana ramping, like artifacts. You just play all of the mana rocks, play him on turn 3 or 4 with enough rocks, draw 3 or 4 cards, rinse, repeat. Yeah, I think he's going to be good in Commander, definitely. Standard, 6 mana, 4/5. I don't think there's a deck that really runs enough artifacts at the moment to really make him worth it. And I don't think there's any coin flipping that I can think of. So, rubbish for Standard. Great for Commander. Eject. Reluctant Guardian. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you can exile it and then return it transformed. Okay, so just from the front side, because I feel like this is how you have to judge most of these flippies. It's bad. Like 4 mana, 4/3. I have trouble in my mono green deck keeping a 4/3 for 3 on the battlefield, and that's even if I get it down on turn 2. Just gets hit by nowhere to run. Lightning Strike, Lightning Helix, just gets blocked by a 3-power thing. It's just, and when you add an extra mana onto it, it's in black, which is not green. It's even more meh. But let's see what it looks like if it flips. He flips into the Vraska's Final Eon. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card on a 7/7. Okay, I mean, so it's okay. It's okay. The effects are okay. Yeah, it makes you sack 2 creatures. I just don't see it being worked. Like, I don't think you're gonna even get Vraska's Final Leon enough to make playing Jekt worth it. In terms of Commander, he's going to be strong because he's each opponent, and you can probably just run him in like a reanimator shell, and just never worry about paying his mana cost again, because you just reanimate him, give him some form of unblockable with like a Rogue's Passage, and then just boop people with the Saga. Yeah, probably good in Commander. I think he's pretty pants for Standard. Fire Crystal, 4 mana. They're all 4 mana. They're crystals. Red spells cost 1 last. Creature control of haste. Okay. It's expensive for a further effect, but bolting on the cost reduction, pretty good. Probably not good enough for Standard. Probably. 6 mana to create a token of target creature control, sack it at the beginning of the next end step. I mean, that's a cool effect, but it's for 6 mana, and yeah, it's unlikely that you're going to have a creature on board that you can, like, on turn 6 if you've taken turn 4 off to play this. Commander could be disgusting. It's absolutely bonkers in Commander because the ceiling for creatures is higher. Like, you can play better creatures in Commander much easier. But in terms of Standard, Earth Crystal, green spells cost 1 less, and it doubles counters. +1/+1 counters, and you can put 4 counters on a creature, or yeah, you can distribute 4 counters, assuming that it doesn't get destroyed in response. This is better. I think there's a lot more counter synergy in standard at the moment with Endure. Is it Endure? The Abzan mechanic. I think this has really cool potential. I'd have to try and come up with a counters deck. I feel like counters are like they've got the Brushwag, Omnivorous Flytrap, and like some Hydras at the moment. I think there's room for this to be like 1 or 2 of in a deck using counters. Yeah, definitely. Right, Machinist's Arsenal. Machinists are great. 5 mana to create a 1/1 hero, and it can be absolutely huge if you got a bunch of artifacts. I think this has potential to just be absolutely bonkers. Like, say in standard, even in standard, I mean it's 5 mana, true. I think there's a lot of good artifacts, creatures that are cheap. I think being in white, you can run it alongside Voyage Home or whatever it's called, the Affinity, draw 3, gain 3. You can run stuff like Nesting Bot if you wanted. If you wanted to go like creature side, or Carrot Cake if you wanted to go more defensive kind of things. I mean, Deduce creates artifacts. I mean, Simulacrum Synthesizer, there's that as well. That's still a deck. So I think there's plenty of room for this to be potentially bonkers. It does cost a lot though. Commander wise, it's going to be huge. Everyone's going to be like, oh wait, what does that do? In Commander, yeah, it's going to be great. Probably worth 5 in Commander as well. This is the crystal I'm excited about. I love mill, not gonna lie. Blue spells cost 1 less to cast. That's what I want to see. And then if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many +4. Okay, so commander wise, combine that with a Mesmeric Orb. For every permanently untap, they mill 5. Pretty good. For Wise Mothman, for every rad counter, they mill. Well, it's not for every rad counter. When the rad counter trigger happens, they mill equal to rad counters +4. And if you've only got 1 rad counter, that's like 5 for each attack of Mothman, and they all proc the loss of life as well. So for Mothman. So yes, Water Crystal is pretty bonkers. I think there's a way to use it in standard. I do. It'd be like founding the third path, like using the Somnophage. I think there's a way of making mill strong enough, especially because there's the mill Adventureland as well. I think there's going to be mono, blue, or Azorius mill deck in standard. Mark my words. And obviously for Commander it's bonkers, so I don't need to go too far into that. Vincent Valentine. I love Vincent. Dirge of Cerberus. Amazing game. I can't play it again now, but I loved it at the time. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it, and Vincent equal to its power. Oof. That's yeah. I like him as just a commander. And standard, he's 4 mana for 2/2. Probably just dies before you get any counters on him, or they kill him in response to the counters coming on. But let's say he survives and you manage to attack with him, he turns into the Galian Beast. It wouldn't be a 3-2. It should be bigger, right? Come on. But when he dies, if he's transformed, he comes back as Vincent Valentine again, which I think is really cool as a commander idea. Standard wise, it's hard to evaluate this one because he's more than likely just going to die as Vincent. In certain matchups he could be bonkers. I think for the most part though, he's going to be bad. Yeah, generally bad, I reckon. Where were we? Triple Triad. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles a top card of their library till end of turn. You can play the card you own, exile this way, and each other card exile that way. So, standard, this just isn't... actually, without paying the mana costs. Now this card's really fun. 6 mana. It's not good. It's almost definitely not going to work in standard, but I would love to build a meme deck around this in standard. You could do it rooms, where like, because your rooms are almost always going to cost more than what the opponent has. You just cast their stuff, but you know what's going to happen. You just exile lands. That's all that ever happens with these things. So in the 1v1 format, probably bad. In Commander, I think it's really good, especially if you're playing things that are like generally overcosted, like rooms or things with delve or affinity or Eldrazi. You just get to steal everyone's stuff. It's like memory dilation, except like you don't have to pay the mana cost. Big stuff in red has some. It could like for Clive. Hello, Clive. So, like, this is on the battlefield and he casts Clive. You draw 3 cards, and or like Clive comes in earlier and then you if it to get the mana to cast it. Commander, I think it's going to be good. Saj Catsroy, 4 mana for a human pilot. When he enters, you search for basic or a bird. So 4 mana for a 3/3. Just start off the start line. It's not looking good. Not looking good. He does work with counter synergy, so he can grow fast. If you're in a matchup where he survives, you're probably going to start stomping quite quickly. I just think in standard there's not many times that he's going to survive. Maybe if you can get like an Innkeeper's Talent onto him to get the +1/+1 up to 4. But like, maybe you sneak him in when they're tapped out or something. But then you just bounce them, don't you? They just bounce them. Maybe against Izzet, but then he gets bounced as well. Just bad in standard. Commander wise, as a commander, he's probably pretty good. Like, I can see him like Voltroning quite well, going tall on certain counter synergies. Like, he finds a land, so you can fix your bit if you so that you don't fall behind, or you can search for birds. Yeah, he seems fine, like probably above average. I don't think you can break him, but I'd like to be wrong. Moogle's Valor. For each creature you control, create a 1/1 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. Then creatures you control gain indestructible turn. I love this. I love it. Oh, you're going to wrath me? Oh, how about I just double my board and I don't get wrath. Standard wise, not going to work. I don't see there's any deck that really will have creatures out and also has 5 mana. maybe convoke if they just don't attack, and only convoke knights, but probably not. Commander wise, yeah, it's going to be much better. I think this is a commander card. Astrologians, Planisphere. Right, 10. So it makes a wizard on entry, essentially. I see this and I think, ooh, a Zami. And it has, whenever I cast a non-creature or draw my third card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So for a Zami, that's, my commander, which is tap a wizard to draw a card. That's all I want to see. That, just being able to grow the creature that's on. I could kill people with my 0/2 commander by growing it with this card. I want to do it. Standard wise, I think this has a place. Like, it's almost as good as I think we're using Is It Prowess, to be honest. Like, it's about as good as the Corey Steel Cutter. Now, the Steel Cutter gives haste, but this permanently grows them. No, it's not as good as the Corey Steel Cutter, because it only creates a token on entry. But I think it's still good. I think it's not as good, but if you wanted to go mono blue, you could. If you don't want to play red for some reason. Commander wise, it's fine. Zodiac, Umbral God, 5 mana, indestructible, 5/5, which is fine. It doesn't die to Nowhere to Run. Does die to Momentum Breaker if it's the only creature, which you probably will need to sacrifice your most of the board in order to get them out. Does get bigger fast. I think he's pretty good, but I don't think the format is right for him at the moment in standard. Can bounce him. He's also like turn 5, it's hard to get him down. Pixie just bounces him, or Nobody runs him twice, or Momentum Breakers him. What else in the format? Domain. So just Leyline binds him. What else? Yeah, standard wise, I think if you've got a mono black deck, could be kind of cool, but probably not. In terms of commander, I think if you play him, people are going to think he's lame and try to kill you really quickly. Indestructible's not as good as it used to be, but it will catch people out, without having like swords or path, because and he does kind of provide like a bit of a wrath as well, and he will get big. Overall, I think pretty good for commander. Below, like mid for standard. Maybe there'll be support for him. Firian Wild Rose, while we're equipped creature control of haste, 3/3 for 3. It's okay. Never a non-token equipment control enters, create a token that's a copy of it. Now, like, it's fine. Like, how often are you going to have like multiple equipments that was worth doing? No, actually, take it back. This guy in standard would be really cool with stuff like Ninja's Blades, because it gives them haste, and they'll automatically be able to swing in, and you get to keep the token after the hero token after the equipment token leaves. Overall for standard, I think probably not good enough. I'd like to be wrong, but in Commander, I don't think he'd be a great commander, but in the 99 for a commander deck, for an equipment based deck, I see him being really strong. The only problem is that, like, no, it'll be good. So stuff like Sword of Feast and Famine, you get to put 2 Swords of Feast and Famine on them on a turn, and he has haste. Yeah, I see this being good. I see it being good. Esper Origins, I like this card. Surveil 2, gain 2. If the spell was cast, exile it and then put it onto the battlefield as Esper Maduin. Doesn't seem to want to load now. There we go. Right. So, if you run mostly permanents, you just draw a card. Add 2 green, and it's an overrun. It's a bit middling, isn't it? Like, it's a fail 2, gain 2 for 2 at sorcery. Okay, sure. And then 4 mana. I mean, you're going to surveil a 2, so you're probably going to be able to put a permanent on top of the library. So it's probably 4 mana, surveil 2, gain 2, draw a card. That they know what it is. And then it's just a 4/4 that gains you 2 mana. Is that good? No? Overrun. I'm not particularly fussed on any of that. Even in Commander, I think it's probably just a bit low power. Yeah, a bit low power, that one. Where are we? Gosh, there we are. Yeah. Ultimate. Destroy all artifacts and creatures end their turn. I like it. Like, stops death triggers from happening. I quite like that. I think 5 mana. 5 mana makes it a bit less great, but also destroys artifacts, which is good for the steel cutters that are running around at the moment. Yeah, I can see it being pretty decent. If also really good against Simulacrum synthesizer decks or Collector's Cage decks. Yeah, I think there's room for Ultimate. Probably 1 or 2 of in the sideboard, but I'm not sure about the main. I don't think it replaces the main board that's at the moment. Matoya, Archon Elder. She's I really like this. Like, 3 mana, turn your opts into scry 1, draw 2. Yeah, like, I think this has potential to be absolutely bonkers. With all the passive scry effects and surveil effects that you can have at the moment. Don't ask me to name any. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know they're there. But, like, 3 mana for 1/4. It's got a decent butt. It survives. Nowhere to run. I think there's room for Matoya in standard. I'm not sure on the deck yet. I'll have to think about it. Commander wise, yeah, I mean, no brainer. Like, you put down, like, say, search first canter, surveil every turn. Oh, surveil and draw it every turn. Sure, why not? Like, it's bonkers. Or like Thassa, indestructible god at the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Oh, at the beginning of upkeep, scry 1, draw 1. Pretty good. Summon Primal Odin. Okay. 6 mana for destroy target creature. Okay. So, if you can have a clear board for when this comes in. So if you ground them out, then yeah, I can see this being okay. It dies to know where to run. It's a 6 mana that dies to know where to run. Okay. This is probably where most of the power lies. Although it does draw 2 cards if it doesn't kill on that turn. You can reanimate it. It's a reanimation target to destroy target creature. I don't think there's enough cheap, quick reanimation in the format to make it good, in standard, to make that particularly good. There's Abuelos, if you wanted to, Esper Abuelos, if you don't like consistency or winning. But Commander, I don't think you play this one either in Commander, because killing one player off, that just makes people hate you. Like, you're gonna want to, you're not gonna want to do Zantetsuken. I think having a Ravenous Chupacabra effect that always goes back to your bin and draws you 2 cards when it does it is pretty good. Yeah, I can see this being like a Merrin or Gen or Arcana Weaver. Not particularly like exciting though. I wouldn't hate it if I pulled it, but I would be disappointed. I would. Gilgamesh, Master at Arms, 6 mana for Go to a Home. Okay. Commander wise, yeah, it's gonna be good. Like, it's probably gonna be fine. Standard wise, I don't think there's a deck that wants a 6 mana thing that finds an equipment. No. I don't see him being used in 60 cards. This is Commander. Probably a fun Commander, but Commander. A Realm Reborn. Other permanents you control have add 1 mana of any colour. A complete do nothing in standard. Yeah. I don't see it. But for Commander, this could be one of the strongest cards in your deck, or it can just be absolutely awful. Depends just how your deck tends to play. Like, if you're playing against people who keep the board clear, it's going to be 6 mana. The 6 mana that just doesn't do anything because you won't have any other permanents. But if you have synergies for like tapping stuff, it works with Intruder Alarm quite well, probably. Yeah, maybe if you wanted to win with Halo Fountain. Can't think of anything else really. Maybe getting coloured mana out of colourless things. Yeah, I'm struggling. I really like it, but it's just not particularly great. Aerith. Oh man, I love Aerith. Lifelink, 3 mana 2/2, pretty bad. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on her, pretty bad. When she dies, you put +1/+1 counters on each legendary you control. No, just not good enough for standard. Like, no, she just dies to everything at the moment. Just not good enough. You probably won't even have any other legendaries on the battlefield. Now, commander-wise, yeah, if you get like Soul Sisters, and then you have to play Soul Sisters, gain the life, and have legendaries, and like the Ozolith maybe, and no, there's too many you need this and this and this. No, I just don't think she's good enough. Jill's Shiva's dominant. When she enters, she bounces something potentially. That's kind of okay. And then she floops into Shiva. Toki's got me blocked twice. It's fine. I quite like that. I mean, she just. Yeah, she taps all opponent's lands and you're like your pre-combat main phase, but like, for standard, no, I'm not really seeing this being particularly good in standard. Like, it just dies too easily. Just like the saga abilities aren't particularly strong. Nah. Commander-wise, probably still no, not really. Nah. Bit of a flub. Arden the Usurper. 8 mana for 4/4. Okay. So it's a really good reanimator and target. This combo is really well with, say, Valgavoth and that. So it's going to be really good in Commander, because that effect is just really good. You get to strip other people's graveyards and also make 5/5 flyers with lifelink haste. Not flyers, just 5/5s with menace lifelink haste. In terms of standards, I don't like. Do you want to reanimate this instead of Valgavoth? I don't think you do. I think he's like Valgavoth at home, I guess. No, it's fine. It's not great. No, not great. Zeldinkt or Dinched. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's Dinked. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. He gets +1/+0 for each land you control, and then you can return a land. Now, for standard, I'm just like, why? I mean, he's got 3 toughness, so it's already not looking good. And then landfall for red. In terms of commander as well, landfall for red. Gonna be bad as a commander. I mean, you could run stuff like Sundial of the Infinite to skip the end step trigger and keep the land, but like that's kind of quite a lot of work just to play an extra land every turn in red. Yeah, pretty meh. He's gonna be meh. Doesn't even have trample. Like, who cares if he's got loads of power. Speaking of which, speaking of landfall with trample, Tifa, you can potentially kill someone on turn 3. Yeah, Tifa's good. Like, in standard, Tifa's really good. I think she's deceptively strong. I mean, like, just put like a monstrous rage on her. She in standard, monstrous rage. She gets like essentially +3, becomes 4 power. Play Fabled Passage. Becomes 8 power. Crack the Fabled Passage. 16 power. Need I say more? I mean, I could have said more, because you could have cast another pump spell before cracking the Fabled, before playing and cracking the Fabled, and then that's just a turn 3 kill with trample. 2 toughness, but she's only 2 mana. Like, I don't think that's as bad as all of these 3 mana, 3 toughness things. She dies to everything, but you can protect her in green with Snakeskin, and then the Snakeskin just makes her even more lethal later. I like Tifa. Always love Tifa. Stiltskin. Sure, he's like a meme thing. I don't think he's going to be good anywhere, apart from like meme commanders. Yeah, moving on. Leviathan, 6 mana, bounce. Bounce most creatures to the hands, and then when it or another thing attacks, draw a card. I think it's fine. I think in Commander it's going to be good, because there's not really many creatures in this archetype. I think in Standard, I mean, look what I'm seeing here, this thing here. I think there's enough octopi to try it. I think, isn't Tolarian Terror a serpent as well? I'd have to have a look into it. First impressions, meh. 6 mana, bounce. 6 mana bounce isn't good. And ward just isn't particularly great. Can draw you a card, but I think overall weak. There could be something in it. Maybe if you go like ultras. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know on that one. Commander, above average. I think in like Commanders is going to be good in the right deck. Generally, it's actually going to be pretty good just generally, because it's just going to bounce most creatures, apart from changelings, and draw cards for your big creatures if you've built around it. Darkness Crystal, yeah, just another exile effect for opponent's creatures if they would die. I like it in terms of like for that effect, but I think Leyline of the Void is just better because it's free, whereas this one, like, you have to pay 4 to cast it. Just like standard wise, don't think it's good enough. Commander wise, it's great, but you are also going to make everyone want to attack you, especially since it's a reanimator as well. Yeah, everyone's going to want to kill you. But if you're running something like Kurik, I mean, if you're doing a Tergrid, then just stop. But yeah, anything in mono black, it's going to be pretty good. Prompto Argentum. 2 mana, haste. 2/2, that's fine. And the creature treasures if you cast big things. Mid. Like, for Commander and Standard, not much to say, it's an uncommon. Summoner's Grimoire. Okay, yeah, I mean, it just puts Sagas on tapped and attacking. That's pretty good. I mean, it's 4 mana. I mean, it's just 4 mana, like, when it attacks, put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty strong, just by itself. So, I think this is going to be great in Commander. Huge in Commander. For Standard, no, because you have to be able to attack with the small thing, and have a big creature in your hand to use. So there's too many things need to line up for Standard, but for Commander, Snowvilliers, meh, just meh. 3 toughness on 3, meh. Now, I think this is really cool. I love the idea of this, like being able to stun people's creatures. Works really well with this. I think Ultros has potential there. I honestly do, and maybe not. I don't know about Standard. Probably a bit weak for Standard. I mean, what non-creature spells are you casting for 8 in Standard? Yeah, exactly. Never going to become a 10-9 as standard. But for commander, I think it's bonkers. Yeah, yeah. You just play mana rocks and Ultros and then Eldrazi. No, not Eldrazi. What am I thinking? Just big things, big spells. Yeah, he seems fun. It's a bit restrictive. How much mana you need to spend to do the effects. I'd have to. I don't think I'd be able to evaluate it. Kane. During your turn, he has flying. And when he deals combat damage to a player, they gain control of it, and you draw that many cards. Now, I think he has the potential to be ultra strong because you can put stuff like assault suit on him so he can't attack you, or just make him so he's, or just like have homeward path so that you just always gain control of him. I think he's a really fun commander to build around. Because he just draws your cards. He doesn't do things that are particularly strong. I mean, yeah, he ramps and draws cards, but like you have to work to get him back from them. And I think the more streamlined commanders would just be able to do everything he does without needing to jump through the hoops. I still think it looks fun though. Standard wise, mate, like standard wise, why would he give away a 2/4 to someone? Just awful in standard. Please, I'd like to be wrong because Kane's cool, but I don't think it will be. Blitzball. I love Blitzball. Bit of a do nothing. Probably really good in the limited. Let's see. It's equip 3, but it's a really strong thing. I love that it's like how you get a Waka Celestial. It's not common, it's fine. Not much to say about it. Barton Boko, affinity for birds. When he enters, each other bird deals damage equal to its power. I mean, it's a bird wrath. I think that's kind of cool. Also synergizes with Travelling Chocobo. So you can curve into it if they don't kill Travelling Chocobo. Where you can just essentially absolutely wipe someone's board. Seems fun for standard. If birds becomes a thing, left chocobos are good enough. Commander wise, I think you're stuck with like a lot of bad changelings for it. But then you could do stuff like Conjurer's Closet or Erratic Portal to bring them back up, and then just like play mono green control. It can happen. Yeah, it's fine. I'm getting into uncommons mostly, so I'm going to be quite quick on these. Yep, Summon Alexander. Oh, what? I cry. Okay, I'm not going to be clicking on it. If someone's Alexander, it does some cool stuff. Cargo ship. It's a mana rock. Vehicles. Flying Vigilance 2/3. I mean, it curves into the other one from before like quite well, but do you really just want to have vehicles lying around? Does ramp for artifacts though? I don't think so. Decent. Like if there's an archetype for it, then I'd love to see it work. Xenos. I love this card. for standard, yeah, like it loses a lot of the whole point. The 5 mana, each creature gets -2/-2 apart from a chosen creature. I just love the flavour of the fact that he wants to fight the Warrior of the Light constantly. You're his biggest rival. Now the flip side, I can't load it because of my internet, but it becomes Shinryu, and so it's an 8/8 dragon, probably flying. Can't remember off the top of my head, but this is why it's useless for standard. When he becomes Shinryu, you choose a player, and when that player loses the game, you win the game. Now, not in standard, that's kind of a bit obvious, a bit pointless. But in Commander, I love it. Just like the fact that you just nuke one person down, and then you don't have to make them feel bad about being put out of the game first, because you just win. I love it. I love it. Maybe not the most powerful, and people are definitely going to feel a bit victimised if you play it, but yeah, I like it. Bad for standard, great for Commander. Queen Brawn, uncommon. Won't get into it too much. Just makes a little a mini gutter snipe token, and 2/1 with prowess. Yeah, good in draft. Don't see the point of going standard. Don't see it happening. Jumbo Cactuar. I want to swing in at someone for 10,000. Yeah, I mean, he's a meme. I love it. Don't cast Rishkar's expertise. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows that they want to fling it. There's no good fling in standard at the moment. Oh no, I mean, there's burn together, but that's not instant speed. But yeah, a lot for Commander. It's bad, but hilarious. For standard, it's really bad, but hilarious. So I'm all for it. He's a plant. I think there's plant synergies. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, maybe. Magitech Armor. 4 mana, make a hero that can crew it. That's quite thematic. It's an uncommon. It's fine. Crew 1 is good for a 4/4 vehicle. Sleep Magic, just your basic tappy thingy. It's fine. Cecil I really like. I can't remember what he does on the flip side, but really thematic. I love how he goes from being a Dark Knight to a Paladin. Really cool. Also 1 mana 2/3. Coral Sword. Coral. Okay, this is pretty cool. Being able to give your creatures first strike at flash speed is pretty decent. The pump is pretty meh. It's uncommon, so it's fine. Yeah, it's kind of fine, isn't it? Like, not particularly huge. The artifact synergies would be pretty cool. Like the equipment synergies that are in the set. I'd have to see them play out. I don't see it being particularly great or shoving anything else at the moment. Torgal. 2 mana 2/2, that's fine. And humans come in with. It's also a mana dork. Oh, see that? That's I like this. I like this guy. It's just a mana dork that pumps your humans when they enter. I think there's room for that. It's pretty good. Not like amazing, but pretty good. Steiner. If equipment aggro becomes a thing, you'd be really good, but I see him just being quite fun. I don't see him being. I mean, it's a Voltron commander that you don't need to equip the artifacts onto him for. That's refreshing. Also lifelink. Standard wise, just stats aren't there. You need to put a lot of equipment onto the battlefield to make it worth it. Commander wise, yeah, I think he's cheap enough so that you can just spam a bunch of other equipment onto the battlefield and not feel bad. Stolen uniform, uncommon to gain control of some equipment and attach it to the chosen creature. Yeah. Now, it would be funny if you end up against like equipment tribal in standard. In Commander, I see it being pretty cool to be like gain control of a Cauldron complete, get rid of their germ token for the Cauldron, like swing in, or like Sword of Feast and Famine would be really helpful sometimes, but overall I think it's probably a bit meh. Although it does get rid of the unattaching equipment from an enemy creature, which is cool. I love it. I love it. Minus 9,999. I love it. It's not great, but it gets on indestructible. Yeah. Oh. But okay, saying that there wasn't a good fling in the format, I forgot about that this was getting printed. Yeah, okay, so Cactuars are going to be good. Just swing in for 10,000 if they block it. Fling it for 10,000. Not much to say about that. I think we all know how flings work. I like how you don't have to sacrifice the creature, so you could give it indestructible. That's a nice variant on. Or if the creature has lifelink, then you gain twice X, which is quite nice. Riders Shupuf. Okay, like putting counters on for landfall is pretty good. Works well with Tifa. You can stack it the right way, and it becomes a 7/7 later. That's fine. It's mostly for limited, isn't it? Okay, let's just start skimming through these. Yeah, this one gets you Yasmat. That's kind of cool. I really like Ether. I don't think it's going to be good for standard, but like for Commander, being able to copy things, that's pretty cool. This is kind of overcosted removal, but kind of fine. When this is potentially removal, I don't think it's particularly great. Another Migration Path, Explosive Vegetation, but Confined Towns. I think that's pretty cool. They have to have different names though. Was it town cards with different names? Okay, the town cards have to have different names, but the base lands can be the same. It's fine. Zach, you got a card, yay. So it's 1, 2. I think this is going to be. Zach and Cloud are going to probably carry equipment because it's like the curve that you want. I'm not sure what equipment they find, but I think it's pretty cool. I think the ability is cool. Probably a really good design for an uncommon. Feels like it should have been a rare. I like this. I just like it. It's just another clone. I like it. Why did they make anime so weak? Why is anime not like a mythic? It's fine. Fair. I mean, she might also cause equipment to be better in standard, being able to cast it. Otherwise, commander wise, not particularly great. Standard wise, don't really see it there. Look at this, 6 mana. So go back to 6 mana for fixing arena for 3 turns. Clash of the Icons, fight spell, Keep your saga along, like skip your saga or refresh your saga. Might be okay if you go heavy into Aeons, into summons. All round inspiration. Meh, just meh. Okay, flashback. I love Quistis. Yeah, Quistis was nice. Final Fantasy 8 was great. Like, but when she walks into the infirmary with the glasses, my life looks like Quistis. Okay, I have a type. Gaius Van Balzar. Where's all the flavour text? What's going on? Yeah, Shoulder's Edict on a creature, but also sacks enchantment instead of Walker. That's going to be really strong in Commander, especially for like Mirror decks. For Standard, meh, just meh. I mean, it's black enchantment removal, but there's enough of that now. Pretty meh. This is like the equip cost is way too much for this. I'd like, ooh, great, get 3/3, trample and haste for 3, but then that's it. I mean, having said that, like the prompt, no, it wasn't prompt 2. The one that copies them, Vaughn, no, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But yeah, Ignis, I don't care. Yeah, it's probably fine. Quina. Oh, didn't even realize Quina was printed. Yeah, like, sure, not particularly great. 3 mana, 2/3. She does grow, but sure, it's uncommon. Couldn't be great in the draft format, I reckon. Phoenix Down. Flavourful, very flavourful. Yeah, I mean, you get to have artifacts on the battlefield, just sitting around, helps affinity, and then you can use it later on to do stuff. Pretty good. Works for Oculus. I doubt you'll be wanting to use it for Oculus over like Helping Hand, but I think it's. Oh, I mean, you do get to do it at instant speed, so maybe, probably not. The Commander, a bit weak for Commander. Maybe, no, because you have to exile it. Yeah, weak for Commander, not good enough. Prima Vista, cast it on creature. No, just weak. It's fine. Not particularly good. No. I mean, it's a sack outlet. If it is a sack outlet, a free sack outlet, but then and it's a hard to hit sack outlet. Okay, I think this might have legs in the Aristocrats because it's hard to get rid of before, like when you're setting up for your like sacrifice turns. That's about the best I can say about it. Barrett, 4 mana, 4/4. Underwhelming. Yeah, it's 4 mana. Probably won't get to attack, or you just won't have any equipped creatures. Yeah. Galos Final Acts. Okay, when it dies. Okay. It's going to be great for limited. I think for standard, it's really bad because you've got to have 2 creatures on, and if someone just goes nowhere to run, and like it just completely nullifies the +1/+1 counters. Commander wise, yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good. You put it onto Jumbo Catcher or put 10,000 counters on something else. Yeah, I see it. Dragoon's Lance. So you get a 2/1 with flying for 2. That's pretty good. The equip's pretty expensive, but you can probably just cheat it onto something. There's Beatrix, who I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I think this is okay for standard. Okay, in the equipment decks. For Commander, there's better ways to give things flying. I think this is going to be really strong. Probably going to be like Sleeper OP in standard and Commander. Yeah, 5/4 flyer for 2, probably. Reanimate something with 2 counters, just standard. It's fine. This is overcosted, but kind of nice to have the options there. I don't think that will see much play in standard or Commander. I mean, 3 mana instant speed is okay, but Pyroclasm is 2 mana, and by the time you get to 3 mana, they will probably be able to like keep the creatures alive. Yeah, not good enough. Vanille. Oh, got my internet back. I forget what that looks like. That's pretty good. So, standard wise, absolutely terrible. Like, how are you ever gonna get to the beginning of your main phase with 5 mana available, with both Fang and Vanille? But when you do, you get to win the hardest. Yeah, uncommon for a reason. Yeah, that's just. It's limited bait, limited chaff. Into commons. I kind of like it, just overcosted. Blood Artist for 3 on a 2/3. Probably not good enough. Summon my girlfriend if it. No, not very good. Just 3 mana 3/2. Even with all these effects, like, who cares? I mean, maybe for Delirium, I guess, but why would you run this over, say, like, Fear of Missing Out? Nah, I don't reckon. 3 mana 3/2. I mean, it ramps. Does the Kamano, but it's not as good because it's on turn 4. And I can draw a card. I mean, it's an uncommon. It's fine, whatever. Good for Delirium. Can't remember what this does. I remember it being fine. This is fine. Not much to say about it. Fine. I mean, given haste is okay, but it is also 2 mana. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Bird Tribal, that's probably going to be pretty good. Forest Cycling for 2. That's his King 3. I mean, poor, like, Oh, I can't remember the name of it now because it's just so bad. What is it? Oh, I can't remember. The big dinosaur for the 6/6 one. That's been reprinted to death and just upgraded constantly. Yeah, this T-Rex is just better in every way. Standard wise, that's not going to do much. Commander wise, I see this working. Force cycling's pretty decent. It's an okay dinosaur, decent body size. Suplex a train, suplex a train. That's why it exiles target artifact, in case everyone wants to know. Sabin suplexes the Phantom Train. Sorcery Speed of Braid. It does exile stuff though. I don't think it's pushing out a Braid. No, not good enough for most formats. Yeah, right. I don't think there's any. Let's just look at uncommons. Okay, I think for 4 mana, this is kind of okay. Drawing 2 and creating a token. That can also, if you have more things to cast, gain your life. Yeah. Syncopate's back. Seymour looking like a Chad. Honestly, I don't think you need Vanille. I think this card's actually pretty good, just by itself. Let's see, anything else that I'm particularly excited about? Tombury. It's a better thing twice, isn't it? It works well with Matoya to draw, surveil 1, draw a card. Yeah. I like this. I think this is pretty good because you can run it. It does cost 2, but if you're worried about them going wide, you can stop them going wide. If you're worried about problem artifacts in matchups like Corey Steelcutter, if you're on the play, this works. If you're not, it doesn't really. Maybe sideboard. No. This is actually pretty decent for a common, like a 3/2 for 3 with Ward 1. Dies to nowhere to run, but it does leave behind an artifact that can work for affinity. Okay, yeah. Sephiroth, yeah. Nothing jumping out there. Oh, Minfilia. Oh, that's actually kind of cool because it's a mana rock as well. Yeah, let's look at the multicoloured ones. 5 mana, 3/5. Okay, brings back Saga creatures. I think this is pretty cool, actually. Is it good enough for standard? I don't think so. Is it good enough for commander? I do think so. Yeah, I think it's really good for commander. Being able to bring enchantments back from the bin on end step. Really good. Actually, because it's on end step, it would be it wouldn't be bad for standard. I just don't think there's any particular sagas in there that I'd be too excited about. Yeah, maybe. Absolute Virtue, I think it's just a bit pointless, really. Like, yeah, maybe if you get to turn 8 against like an aggro deck, but I mean it doesn't have XP for itself, so it just gets like someone goes unsummon, 8 mana unsummon, and then you get whacked because it's back in your hand. It's cool, just not great. BV gonna be great in Commander. I think it's probably gonna be good in Standard. It does only have 3 toughness. However, I doubt you'd be playing it unprotected, and it does get it will get ridiculous in terms of mana. I think it's going to be better for Commander. I don't think there's too much of a spot for it in Standard at the moment, but I don't think it's going to be bad. That's going to be so expensive because everyone's already buzzing over it. Hope. Right, there we go. This is what I was on about earlier. Mill. I wanna make this work somehow. It'll work for Commander because each opponent. So all you need to do is just gain life. That's one of the easiest things to do in Azorius. Teller. Oh, in Standard, probably just dies. But if they live, then pretty strong. Yeah. I think this is a really, really cool, well-designed thing to have on the lore of Teller from FF4. Yeah, I think it's a really cool, well-designed thing. I'm not going to spoil the game, but it matches what happens in game really well. For Standard, it's a 5 mana 3/3. For Commander though, I think it's going to be really good. Just like it's going to be one of those cards, one of the fair spell slinger ones, because at the moment, like spell slinger tends to be about spamming spells, where being able to cast just big spells is a nice change of pace. Yeah, probably not the most powerful, but it's going to be fun. Joshua. Okay, I mean, Boros Reanimator. Is that going to work? Would it be running Oculus decks? Because you get to discard 2 cards and it brings back most of the creatures that died, so like Oculus and FOMO, and then you get to do it again. I'm not sure if there's. I don't know if there's space for it. I think it would be really, really cool effect to have in Oculus. I'm just not sure if they really need it. I think it's pretty tight already, isn't it? I like it. Commander, probably fine. Yeah, probably. Genova. So I think this is really cool. I mean, you can pump Genova, you can put stuff like Rancor on it, or you could just play like things with high power, low toughness, like Yargle. I mean, you don't even need to to have like the trigger from Genova. You just play mutants or play changelings, and just if I mean you could sack them to greater good, to draw equal to their power, discard 3. Well, to draw equal to the power, and then draw equal to the power, then discard 3. I think there's room for it in that. Yeah, I think Genova has the potential to be extremely strong in Commander. For Standard, she has enough toughness, that's fine, but I think she's just slow and revolves around your stuff dying, so it's anti-tempo really, isn't it? Not particularly great. Sarah, bit boring, isn't she, really? Woo, legendary creature tribal, they cost 2 less, woo. Bit boring. Too small for Standard, too average, too boring for Commander, I think. Maybe in a 99, but I wouldn't. Squall, Exalted, double strike. Is that just Rafik of the Many and Orzhov? Yeah, you get to bring stuff back. It's Reanimator. 4 toughness. I already like it. And it returns target permanent. So maybe if you want to have fun, you could put this into Esper Pixie. Don't think it's particularly great, but kind of fun. Would also be kind of fun for Reanimator, but you have to get him through. He's 4 mana, unstatted. Not great for Standard, could be fun. For Commander, I think he's going to be pretty good. Not this. So it's an Esper. 3 toughness, so already out for Standard. For Commander, it's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think it's particularly exciting for any formats. Kuja. I really like this. I don't think you will ever be able to flip him. But if you can, it's really funny. It's really fun. Mutant, so if you want to go Jund with Genova, Jund Nova. Yeah. I think it's cool. I don't think it's good enough. Balthia and Fran. 4/3 for 3. 3 toughness. Oh, but reach and no, it's gonna be. I don't see this being Standard playable. Just dies to everything. And you need vehicles, and you need to pay mana to do the trigger. No. Okay. Got a snipe. But for 4 mana with Flying Death Touch. No. I don't think it's good enough for any format. Ignis. Okay, it wasn't Ignis earlier then. No, it's just weak. Garnet is. I think she's fine. I think 2 mana, 2/2 lifelink with that is fine, and also you can you'd be able to pump her quite a bit from if you have multiple sagas going. I think she'd be quite a good saga commander if you can protect her. She'd get really out of hand fast, I think. Standard wise, she probably just dies or gets bounced. You probably never get to actually activate the to trigger the ability. Cool though, I like it. Lock Coal for FS6. 3 mana Death Touch Lifelink for 3 toughness. Draws discards on damage. No, that's middling. Is this Omega? Yeah, I think this is really cool. Probably not great for standard. 7 mana doesn't do enough. But for commander, for each opponent, getting to stun their things down for like your non-basics, and you gain life. And he's 7 mana 8/8. I think that's pretty good for commander. Standard, yeah. No, just I don't think it's particularly good for any format. Zidane. No, just 5 mana. Like, it's a treason effect, so probably good and limited because like it's a life swing. But other than that, the Emperor, 2 mana for a dork. I think that's pretty cool. I think just this line is fine, and then you get to potentially floop into the Lord Master of Hell. But for a commander, I think it's pretty cool. I think you're going to be able to probably quite reliably floop the Emperor. I don't think you will be able to reliably flip them in standard. I do like that you get a dork, so you could cast a 4 mana spell on 3. The possibilities there. I don't think it would work that often, but it would be cool if it could. I get up to 2 hours, let's be quick. Ultimecia. Okay, so works really well with Matoya. Surveil 2, draw. Yeah, if you pay 8 mana and she's like 5 mana 4/5, and you have to pay 8 mana to floop her, but you take an extra turn. Commander, I think she's going to be absolutely fine in Commander. Standard, I think she's just going to be useless. No. I think this is kind of cool. Like 2 mana 3/2. That's fine. And he become a 5/5 for 7 later on. That's kind of fine. This will make a good commander, I reckon. Otherwise, like standards, just depends on you being able to do all the stuff. Like for 3 mana, you want just more. Gladiolus, 6 mana. Shoot for a land for 6/6. Perfectly playable in Commander, I think so. In terms of standard, I don't think it is at all. No. Sid Tribal, Sid. Yeah, I think this is really cool. Yeah, Sid's are good. Okay, colourless things. Come on, that's gonna. I mean, it's 6 mana. Yeah, it's 6 mana. Just like absolutely useless for standard. Never gonna equip onto anything. But for commander, What? Base pound toughness potentially over 40/40. Yeah, go on, put it on a life linker, why not? Buster Sword. I think that's great. I think it's great. It's cheap enough to equip, to cast and equip. Tempo wise in standard, it's going to be really bad, but potentially if like you can get it equipped for cheap. Bahamut. Oh, I really like this. I think this is going to be cool. If you Abuelo's it, I don't. Abuelo's Awakening. 9 mana is a bit too steep just for casting in standard. I don't think you'd ever be able to get up to 9. Does do a number on things. As in Commander, this is fine. Absolutely fine. In Commander, you probably just win off the ultimate if you've got if you're playing say like big colourless Eldrazi or just big colourless stuff like by Esker deck. Yeah, just wins you the game on the spot. I think it's cool. Ultima. Yeah, I think it's like 5 mana ultimate ramp for colourless. It's fine. I mean, it's one of those ones where in colourless commander decks you need your commander to either get you there or to be the thing that you ramp to. And I think with a lot of just straight colourless decks, you really just run the risk of not drawing into any of the actual big stuff in the deck. So I think it'd be really good for when you could Volta on it because it's got flying, but I think it'd be really good for getting there in the colourless deck, but whether it actually does something, it's not obvious. I think this is kind of neat, not particularly great, but neat for Commander. Pretty decent for Standard. Standard's probably pretty good actually. Yeah. I think it's pretty good for Standard. Being a vehicle that with Crew 1, they restrict like being able to get it down on and in for 4 on the turn it comes in. I think that's pretty good. I think there's room for this. Lionheart, this is disappointing. Just disappointing. I like this effect. I like it. Don't care about the rest of it, but it is on a 0/4, so it's a decent block. It's a flying blocker. It's pretty decent, and you can ramp you. So I think for Commander, this is pretty good. So that's like an extra land dropper in Standard. Maybe. Probably not, but if you're desperate for blockers, it does ramp you if you got the lands in hand. World map. Commander is going to be great. It's going to be fine in Commander. In terms of Standard, I'm not going to see play, don't think. Instant Ramen, I think this is good in Commander and Standard. And I love the flavour. I like how Balam Garden becomes a big vehicle. When it attacks you draw. I think this is a bit steep. I don't see Town Tribal being a thing. I don't think you will really be able to cast things. It's also colourless, so not great for Standard. Not really great for Commander. Why does it have to cost 3? Why is it 3 to make a 0/1? Bad gutter snipe. Yeah. I quite like the idea of mana confluence. Like that. That's a fast land confluence. I really like it. I think this is good. Probably will be quite expensive. Ishgard. Weak. Returning it to your hand for 5. Like, why? It's rubbish. I think there's like a definite thing for wizards to be underpowering rare lands. Like, mostly just pants. I think, having said that, I think this one's probably good. Zanarkand. 6 mana to make. Okay, to make a potentially big thing. Fine. It's fine. This is bad. You got Fountain Port. Like, why are you doing this? Limited fixing. That's all I can say. Life gain on the land. Sure, whatever. Not great. Guild gates, but towns. Fine. These arts are beautiful. 7/7. And I'm not getting into Commander. Don't really care about that then enough. What we'll talk about though quickly, let's get past all these. Showcases. I think these look really cool. Like, I like anime things. I do like my anime, and these all look really cool. I'd like a Tifa. I'd also like a Yuna. Fang looks cool. The really kind of cuted up hair. I like this Yuna as well. I like the Terror, not gonna lie. Celis looks cool. This Cloud looks cool. This looks like the one from Advent Children. No, I love that. Some of these look so cool. Like, there's so much going on. I love this Kafka. See ones that stick out to me. I like the crystals and these ones. I like Manu, man. I love his art. It's so cool. And these look really nice as well. Oh, golden chocobo. Okay, I like that. I need to get this. I just do. And the Amano ones. I think these will look really cool. They look just like the Final Fantasies. The one I want the most, though, is Princess Sarah. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking forward to this. Really am. Well, that's everything from the main set that I can be bothered. It's quite a long one. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Oh, this is the Beatrix. It's in a starter kit. That's why I couldn't find it. I'll love you. I can't be bothered looking at these right now. Maybe another time.